Hello, and welcome to the Accessibility Department at University of Georgia. My name is Elizabeth Tong, and I'm an associate in the Alt Formats office. Today, we'll be looking at a PDF which was originally scanned from a book. It has been OCR'd, but can still use some touching up. So, taking a quick look at what we have here, it seems like the characters are reading, which is great. I don't have the original copy of the book, so I'm not sure if these areas on the side of the pages used to be images or not. I suspect they're just shadows from the text on the other side of the page, though. I'm running an accessibility checker just to see where we stand. There are a couple of issues, though they would be easily fixed, and this could pass as accessible in a pinch. However, ethically, I don't feel right calling this one done. Passing for accessible doesn't cut it for me. I see some issues that need addressing, and I haven't yet dug deep to make sure that there aren't more hidden problems. I'm going to use my typical method of moving the text to a word processor. This will give us a nice, super clean version and lots of flexibility for formatting. As usual, I'm going to open Microsoft Word right next to Acrobat so that I can see both at the same time. I give myself as much space as possible on the new doc. I use small margins and an 8 by 14 inch page. I also set the normal style to be 14-point font. I'll be copy and pasting the content over and fixing formatting and any issues I spot as I go. Anything with italics is going to be changed to bold. We do this because screen readers often have a hard time reading italicized characters. This document has page numbers, so I'm going to maintain pagination with a footer. Even though I have more room on this page, I'm going to force a page break by pressing Ctrl-Enter. Page 3 includes a table, but it's currently reading as 2 columns. I'll recreate the table and copy and paste the content, including the bullets in the right-hand column. I can't tell if we're missing a word here on this last row, so I'm going to make a note and see if I can get my hands on the original to find out what we're missing. Most of the pages in this document are coming over very easily, with just a few typos here and there, mostly caused by the OCR adding spaces where it thought it saw some, or exchanging a letter for another character, like how study keeps turning into sorority. Another nice perk to using Word is that these problems are easier to spot with the red underlines. Another thing you're seeing me do here is making sure that each line isn't acting as a standalone paragraph. Sometimes an OCR will treat each individual line as its own paragraph, which usually causes screen readers to have a dramatic pause at the end of each line, often in the middle of a sentence. On page 39, we have an image which is really hard to make out. Thankfully, though, we're given the name of the piece of the artwork shown, and I was able to find a much better quality version of it to use instead. Finally, we have this big table to tackle. I saved it for last because I knew it was going to take a minute. Since it's wider than it is tall, I'm going to create a new Word doc just for it. Then I'll add that into the PDF after the fact. There are a lot of cells, and it's pretty tedious, but this is the best way to create a table that a screen reader can navigate. I'm making the executive decision to differentiate between the 3 kinds of cells and add a key so that this table is usable for people who have limited or no vision. I'll keep the shading as well. Once that's done, I'm going to save it as a PDF. Now it's time to consolidate the 2 in Acrobat. I'm going to check the accessibility while I'm still in Word and just make sure I'm not missing anything here. Then I'll save it as a PDF. Once it opens in Acrobat, I'll drag the tab out so that I have 2 Acrobats open, which makes it really easy to slip a page into place. I open the Pages tab on both, and then just drag and drop where I want the table to go. I'll click on Edit so that I can add the page footer to the table. After recording this segment, I realized that I'd placed the table in the wrong place, but I fixed that by dragging and dropping it into the space where it should have been. Now I need to match the page numbers on the PDF with the page numbers on the individual pages. It will make it much easier to navigate that way. Right-click on the first page, select Page Labels, and then choose All. I'll have the pages start at 29. Finally, we'll do one more accessibility check while in Acrobat. To fix an issue, such as the title, right-click on it and see if Fixing is an option. If it's asking for alt text for something that doesn't need it, just mark it as decorative. The footer I'd added to this needs to be tagged as a paragraph, which is easily fixed by opening the Reading Order menu, selecting it, and then selecting Paragraph. I missed this weird character when I was editing, but the checker found it. I looked at the original document and fixed the issue by going into the Edit menu. It is unhappy with the way that the top of this table doesn't line up with the rest of the cells, but since I did exactly what was in the original, I'm not going to mess with it. Finally, it all looks good, and we can save. I can pass this back to the folks who need it, knowing that it's going to be neat, tidy, and accessible for everyone.